Genesis 29. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. And Yah is a very jealous El. I'm very certain that he does not approve of using idol names and just assuming that he understands what you're saying, so it's all G. I don't agree with that at all. That's just blatant disrespect to me for his name. He's got many titles, and most of them are the same throughout between the Christian and Messianic, but it's because the best lie is 9/10 the truth. Genesis 29. Excuse me. And Jacob moved on and came to the land of the people of the east, and he looked and saw a well in the field, and saw 3 flocks of sheep lying by it, for out of that well they watered the flocks, and a large stone was on the well's mouth, and all the flocks would be gathered there. Then they would roll the stone from the well's mouth and water the sheep, and put the stone back in its place on the well's mouth. So Jacob said to them, My brothers, where are you from? And they said, We are from Haran. And he said to them, Do you know Laban, son of Nahor? And they said, We know him. So he said to them, Is he well? And they said, Well. And see, his daughter Rahel, Reh with a dot underneath of it, E with a half a check mark on top of it, L, is coming with the sheep. And he said, See, it is still high day, not the time for the livestock to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go and feed them. But they said, We are not allowed until all the flocks are gathered together, and they have rolled the stone from the well's mouth. Then we shall water the sheep. While he was still speaking with them, Rahel came from her father's sheep, for she was the shepherdess. More and more I see that both men and women choose to be in the kitchen as well as in the field. So, this is biblical times too. Somewhere along the line it changed where it's only men in the field and only women in the house. And then it's like, how did that come to be? Shepherdess. Yeah, Rahel. A woman. It's awesome. Um, and it came to be when Jacob saw Rahel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, and his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rahel and lifted up his voice and wept. And when Jacob told Rahel that he was her father's relative, and that he was Ribka's son, she ran and told her father. And it came to be, when Laban heard the report that Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Then he told Laban all these matters. And Laban said to him, You are indeed my bone and my flesh. And he stayed with him for a new moon. Then Laban said to Jacob, Because you are my relative, should you therefore serve me not? Naught. Let me know what should your wages be. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, L-E, with a half a check mark on it, apostrophe A-H. And the name of the younger was Rahel. And Leah's eyes were weak, but Rahel was beautiful of form and beautiful of appearance. And Jacob loved Rahel, for he said, Let me serve you 7 years for Rahel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Stay with me. So Jacob served 7 years for Rahel, and they seemed to be And they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, "Give me my wife, for my days are completed, and let me go into her to have sex with her." And Laban gathered all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to be in the evening that he took Leah, his daughter, and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. And Laban gave his female servant Zilpah, Zilpah, to his daughter Leah as a female servant. And in the morning it came to be that, see, it was Leah. So he said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? What is not for Rahel that I served you? Why then have you deceived me?" And Laban said, It is not done this way in our place to give the younger before the firstborn." But they could have just said that. That's quite rude that you would just go behind someone's back like that. "Complete the week of this one, then we give you this one too, for the service which you shall serve with me still another 7 years." And Jacob did so and completed her week. Then he gave him his daughter Rahel too as wife, and Laban gave his female servant Bilhah, Bilhah, to his daughter Rahel as a female servant. And he also went into Rahel, and he also loved Rahel more than Leah, and he served with Laban still another 7 years. And Yah saw that Leah was unloved, and he opened her womb, but Rahel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben, RE' with a line underneath it, E with a half a check mark on top of it, N. For she said, "For Yah has looked on my affliction, because now my husband is going to love me." And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, "Because Yah has heard that I am unloved, he gave me this son too." And she called his name Shimon, Shimon. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, "Now this time my husband is joined to me, because I have borne him 3 sons." So his name was called Lewi, LE with a half a check mark on top of it, WI. And she conceived again and bore a son, and said, "Now I praise Yah." So she called his name Yehuda, Yehud, with a line underneath of it, AH. And she ceased bearing. Oh, man. Jealousy goes a long way back in history. We don't need jealousy in the world.